I think the neighbours are getting a bit worried about my Peugeot 107. Bloody, oh, sorry, I better not say that. Fire-breathing monsters, enough to frighten Harry Vatton and them things. I've tried to get mine to understeer and it was too frightening, even on a wet road. Well, if you're tempted, I've only managed to get it to understeer on gravel. Well, that's understandable. But yeah, I mean, I had to throw it so hard into the junction at the end of the road. I thought, no, I'm not going to do this. It's too irresponsible to get this to slide even on a wet road. Well, that's the thing. They've matched the tyres on most cars now to the weight and performance of the vehicle, and they don't slide under normal driving conditions. Even if you do brake really heavily with the anti-lock brakes, don't. Well, mine does. It does the anti-lock brakes. They're just not a good design, I don't think. Because they lock. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's absolute beast, and nobody knows what I'm doing to that car. He's had the engine in and out 4 or 5 times, that bloke. Does he know what he's doing, and do we know what he's doing? Could be an absolute monster, couldn't it? Well, I threatened to put a Peugeot, a Nissan Leaf motor into it. 147 brake horsepower in a 68 horsepower car. That would be frightening. Well, that's the thing. My dad always said it was me. He says, it's flipping nippy, this. He says, there's massive cars standing. I said, oh, aye, there'll be old non-turbo diesels, and that's the thing, there weren't. Some of them were V8 flipping petrol cars like Mustangs. Well, there won't be Mustangs where I live, but yeah, they will outperform a Mustang. I hate to say that because they will. Yeah, I'm pretty chuffed about that, actually, because people say, what you're bothering with that all day before it's what? It's 2006, it's not 2005 like the one I bought originally, the new one, the first new car I'd ever had. On an 05 plate. It's very rare on an 05 plate. It's a shame it was written off in an accident because it's only done 54,000 miles and it was immaculate. And I'd just put a clutch in, all sorts of things like new bumpers, well, the cosmetic ones, and there's always dented by an idiot who shouldn't have been driving at that speed, particularly on a country lane. And I was stationary when he slid down the embankment onto the top of the car. Didn't damage it that much, but I just said to him, there was nobody about. I said, I drove out from, it sort of went like that. I drove out from underneath him. His car didn't fall onto its side. He was lucky. And I just said to him, I just said, you're all right. He never said it. He never asked me. I just said, you're all right. I said, oh, don't worry. All it wants is a door mirror and a backlight unit. Well, I didn't even say that. I said, look at it, thought, it's just cosmetic. A few quid will say, fix that. The car will be straight. I didn't give a monkey's about his van. He probably was drunk and driving a stolen van. I never said I didn't have a dash cam. I don't know whether it was illegal, but I just said to him, look, mate, my car won't cost much to repair. And he wasn't bothered about his, because apparently it was his boss's. Most of the paint on my car was a sign writing off this van, but it was probably stolen anyway. And he probably was drunk or on drugs. And I said, if I claim on my insurance for mine, I'll lose. I had 9 years no claims. I said I'll lose me no claims. And he said, I said, it was a Teesside accent. He said, I got fuck all no claims like. Is that a bit Geordie? Can't tell, but yeah, that's what he said. I got fuck all no claims like, and disappeared. Nothing. I never heard any more about it, but I don't know whether it was illegal to do that. I wouldn't have done if I knew knowingly if it was, but I mean, there was more damage to my car. It was just cosmetic to that van. There wasn't even a dent in the van. It was just it had scuffed the sign writing, and all the paint that was stuck at the side, instead of the dents on my car, was flipping his sign writing paint and dentist. And I pulled most of them out with a rubber sucker. I didn't know you could do that, but there was a dent I had to fill in the door, and it's on that car now. Because when Dad blew that engine, I said, "Do you mind if I put my door and take your door off your car and put it in mine?" He won't bother because he's given up driving. And that car was brought home on a transporter, and not a VW, but yeah, it brought home on a transporter, and they said, it's beyond economic repair. Well, I kind of thought it was because the engine had blown up, and I fixed it in the end, and it was somewhere between £2,000 and £3,000 to fix that engine, and now it's been trashed because I'm not sure if I misplaced the starter motor spacer, but I took the engine out because it wouldn't turn, put it in the boot, and now it's water damaged. I've got one that runs, well, when the car decides it's going to run. I don't know what the hell, I don't really know what's wrong with it. There was a loose earth wire on the fuel tank, the plastic fuel tanks now, and the vehicle has to be earthed to the ground while you're filling it with petrol, because you don't want a static electricity spark between the filler neck and the fuel pump and the petrol pump, because the fuel will explode. I only know that because I used to fill a big petrol tank at work. Anyway, that's enough of that. It hasn't gone on that long for me, really, but it's a sorry if it's about cars, but I may actually relate to George Stevenson. If you don't know who he is, he's like Mr. Railway himself. He didn't just invent steam power. He did. He came up with the idea for steam power, designed the rocket and the locomotion. I don't know whether he built them, but and he sort of came up with the idea for railways, and apparently the Darlington and Stockton was the first railway, not a newspaper, but apparently he came up with the whole idea. And if I'm related to him, well, I was an AD transporter once because I was bullied as a kid because I was originally artistic. And I can still draw, but I never really could paint. Well, I tried watercolour. It must be at least 8 or 9 years ago. And I was starting to get the hang of it. Well, putting the right colour, blobs and stuff on. Yeah, because there's a wheel of colours, isn't there? It's similar to the, not Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, there's sort of like, there's opposite colours, isn't there? Yeah, it's called, so I've read about it in a flipping book that I'm reading. I can't remember, it was years ago, but I was starting to get the hang of it. But I was always good at art until I was 9 and I was bullied because the kid who bullied me considered me better looking than them, and I always had a girlfriend, and they've married since, and that was in 75. I've had 3 6-month friendships since. That doesn't make me gay, does it? Sort of. I've always looked weird since then. Weird outlook and weird stance and that, and things have made it even worse since then. But I mean, I can't approach women in pubs and talk to them because it just doesn't seem natural to me. Now, I was natural at that sort of thing until I was 9, but not anymore. But yeah, I mean, some of the women in my family, my nana, not so much my mother, but my nana was a recluse like me, and I was spent my childhood with her, so it's probably why. But my nana hadn't faced half the things I've faced. She had lost her son in World War II, and my granddad had died 8 months before I was born. But my smile cheered her up. But my brother, if it was my brother, wasn't allowed in her house because he was so badly behaved. She wouldn't even look after him. But I don't think that's my brother. From where I can see now, could have been a very badly behaved child, or a not so tall actor or actress made up to look like my brother. I can see that now, but I couldn't see that then. I'm not going to say it with my brother because I don't want to drop him in. I don't want a million women going, "You horrible!" and kicking all that whatever out of him, because they probably could. Particularly if they're like my nana, because she had two brothers who fought in World War I. She used to take them on at the same time and beat them up. Yeah, physically thump them and that. And yeah, I don't know whether more sensitive or was she just spirited, and I don't know about that, but she told me, so it'd be true, because she told me not to tell lies, because she'd listened to her grandparents and parents, and her grandparents were born in the 1840s, and she had loads of experience being born in 1896. She'd seen a few wars. I don't think she remembers the Boer War, but she used to curse about it. But if you did something in front of me, Nana, you'd become the company keep. She didn't mimic it, she just copied it or whatever. Well, if her dad had done it, she'd just do it like him, wouldn't she? Apparently someone's impressed with my cursing. Well, never heard me Nana. She would out curse a flipping seventh son of a seventh, whatever. So it was Billy Gobshite on that, wasn't it? Sure it was. Cursing. Yeah, threatened to death of me Nana. Isn't he my Nana's great nephew or something? So that's why I don't like it, because my Nana used to beat his granddad up.